Alright guys, one of the things I want to go through real quick is the control panel and all of the different settings that are available inside there, and some of the other things that you are easy to get to. So we're going to come down here to the start menu in XP, and you're going to see right off to the side here the control panel. We're going to click on that, and it's going to open up the window. Now it's going to have a category view, which I don't care for much. It tries to group a lot of stuff together to make it easier to find, but I really think it's a little bit more confusing. So I'm going to click over here to switch to classic view. So I'm going to click on that, and it just gives you a list of icons like you would normally see. Now you're not going to see this VMware tools like we talked about because I'm running a virtual machine, but you can see a lot of different settings here. This is one that's going to be really important. It's called Add Programs. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And because I have only I'm running a virtual machine, all you're going to see is VMware tools on mine. But this is where you would see like your Adobe Reader, Flash, Office, all of that would be listed in here for you to have. And this is where you can easily uninstall these programs. If you look over here, you can add remove Windows components. That'll bring up another window. Probably you'll never mess with this window here, but you can turn things off. Like if you wanted to turn Internet Explorer off, you could. There's some extra settings in here that you can have, but more than likely you're not going to mess with any of these, probably ever. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and close this one, but another one you want to look at right here is the automatic updates. This one is very important. As you can see right here, I don't have anything listed, but you can automatically update where you say like every day at 3 a.m. check for new updates, download and install them. The next option is to download the updates for me, but let me choose when to install them. Then there's a notify me but don't automatically download or don't automatically install. And then of course you can turn it off. I would not recommend turning off. I like the download them for me and let me choose when to install them. That way your computer's not shutting down in the middle of the night in case you have something running. But you know, if you're not on it and you leave your computer up and running, the automatic update might be good. But always make sure you keep your computer up to date, because there are a lot of patches and a lot of security fixes that come through that can really help you. So we're going to cancel out of this for now. Um, the display properties can be we can get to it right from here, right from the control panel. And you can just click right through there, and this will affect your resolution, how big or how small you want your screen size to be, screensavers, the background of your desktop, any type of themes you want to the windows and whatnot. Another one that's kind of important would be the network connections. This is where you can see the different type of connections that you have. Some of you may be using a laptop on wireless. You can see your wireless connection in here, as well as your LAN connection. And by double clicking this and going to support, I can also see what my IP address is and what my gateway address is. So if anybody ever asks me what my IP address is, I can go in here, double click on this, click the support tab, and right there's my IP address. Okay. Let's go back into the control panel here, and one of the ones you will definitely probably use is printers and faxes. So if I double click there, you can see that my HP PhotoSmart is right there. You may have more than this, you may have less than this. In a work setting, a lot of people may have 2 to 3 printers. You might have an all-in-one kind of thing, and then maybe like a little printer on your desk, and maybe you need to print out 45 copies of a 30-page pamphlet. You obviously don't want to do that on a little inkjet. You want to do that on a big all-in-one. So having different options of printers, and by right clicking I can, make certain ones default and different things like that. So this is very important to have. Also, if you go down to the start button here, you can see I can just click printers and faxes here, and it will take me right to that window. Now I already had it open, but it will take me right to this window without having to go through the control panel. If I click on the system here, it's just like right-clicking on my computer and going to properties. Gives you the system properties, where there again you can see what service pack you're on, how much RAM you have right here, what the processor speed is right here, the computer name as we talked about right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close that again. Also, another thing I want you guys to look at is the firewall. Make sure that this stays on. Okay, that's going to block stuff from just trying to connect back and forth on the internet. You really need some sort of protection, some sort of firewall on at all times. So just check this out, make sure it stays on. Now if you're running an antivirus program that has a firewall built in, that's fine. You know, that's acceptable too. But this is Windows Firewall. It's built into Microsoft Windows XP and Windows 7, which we'll take a look at here in just a minute. But make sure that there is some type of firewall on, because you don't want programs just going out there and connecting to anything. Okay. And the last thing we're going to look at here is the user accounts. By clicking on this, gives me the options here. I can see my user right here. I can click on it. I can change my password. I can change my picture. And if I want to add another account or user, I can do it right from here. And I can change what rights they have, the way they log on, what their password is, and so on. So this can be very beneficial for you, all right? Now, as we look at the control panel here, you know, there's some other stuff in here you probably won't get into, but there's some other stuff. If you want to play around, look around in here, but don't mess with a whole lot, because you can mess up a lot of your system not knowing what you're doing. But with the ones that I've shown you here, I mean, those are ones that you're probably going to use a lot. As I said, add remove programs. You got to know how to remove stuff and uninstall different programs. So I'm going to recent documents, your pictures, your music, your my computer, control right here, and the printers and faxes is right here. Also, the search. By clicking here, I can choose whether I want to search for files, pictures, I can search all files, I can search hidden files, I can search computers or users, you know, whatever. I can search for anything within here. And by clicking this, it'll let me choose part of the file or choose a phrase or something like that. Let's say I want to look for that text document we created. I can type in text, hit enter, and everything that has the word text will come up. So let's say I want to do another search. Bring this back up here, and instead I just want ones that are called text. I can put a dot and then a star. The star is what they call wildcard. Now what I'm looking for is anything that has just the word text. Okay, so text dot whatever the extension may be. So then when I search, now I only come up with one result. Alright. Same thing the other direction. The text file that I created was a .txt, if you remember the text extension. So I can type in a wildcard and .txt. I hit enter, and now it's going to bring up just the text documents, and you can see there's a bunch of them there. Here's our original text document. It'll tell you what folder it is in by the path there, and it's just real easy to do. So this is another tool that is very beneficial. So I'm going to switch over to Windows 7 real quick. And as I bring up Windows 7, you'll notice that I do have an icon for the control panel right on the desktop. When we set that up, it came right up there. So I can double click on that. Now you'll notice it comes up in that same kind of category view. But it's not as dumbed down as the other one, where I can just switch back to icon view. I can choose either large icons, which will give you that, or I can choose small icons, which will bunch them up a little bit more. I'm just going to use the large icons for right now. It's kind of spread out. Now, one of the first things that you should notice if you're looking here is there's no add remove programs right here. There is an add remove programs, but it's not called add remove programs anymore. It's called programs and features. That's a big difference between the two. And when I click on it, you'll notice that it looks similar. It's got a newer look to it, but as I click on stuff, it will still give me the option to uninstall. Now, I don't really have anything installed on here, but you can see that. Now, if I go back, and let's say I want to go to the display. Right there it is. Just like before, I can choose the display. I can adjust resolution here. You don't have the tabs up above. Most everything is right along here. However, if I want to change the background and do all that, as we learned before, it's under personalization. So I go into personalization. Here's where I could choose my themes, my backgrounds, and so on. So if I hit back again, user accounts, same place. Here again, I can, change password, change pictures, manage another account. If I want to add accounts, I can do that in here as well. There's all kinds of different things that I can do from inside here. So really, there's the Windows firewall again, and this time it's called Windows Update instead of Automatic Update. So you need to make sure you check that out. Also, there's your system, like right-clicking on my computer, or right-clicking on computer in Windows 7 and going to properties. You can click there. Your system comes up. It gives you your computer name. It gives you how much RAM, processor, and so on. All right. So play around with the control panel. Make sure that you know where it is, where to find certain things, and be careful you don't mess with too much because you don't want to screw anything up on your computer. But if you have any problems finding something, please let me know. This can be very beneficial for you. So it's going to be good for you to learn these kind of things and where certain things are and how to find stuff on your own. Because if you're on the phone with tech support and they ask you a question, you don't want to be that person that's like, oh, I don't know how to do that, and then they talk down to you and make you walk through all these hoops and steps. You want to be able to do all that on your own. You want to be able to just be like, oh, well, I have this much RAM in there, and I have this kind of processor speed, and that kind of stuff. And that's what I really want you to be prepared for in this week. So good luck to everybody. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, have any problems, you can't find something, let me know. Good luck, guys.